This is going to be a super important lesson going off of my previous video lesson that I just published to you guys over on YouTube. The last video lesson I published, it was titled "Stay Away from Hot Chick of the Day," or the hot stock of the day. If you have not checked this video out, I will leave a link for it down in the video description below. And if you're new to the channel here, I have over 800 videos in my library. I've been doing this for over 7 years. I've been a content creator on YouTube for over 4 years. So with today's lesson, we got a hot chick, hot stock of the day, NKTX. NKTX yesterday, the previous day, which was Friday, today is Monday, April 25th. So Friday, this stock was down here at $8. Let's blow up this 1 minute chart, scroll out on it, and you can see the previous days here. All these previous days, there was really no interest in the stock at all. There was no volume at all. Nobody was interested in this stock. Safe to say, right? So this morning, the company comes out with a press release. They come out with a press release of strong sell research. Let's pull it over. This morning at 7 a.m., NKTX announces positive preliminary, it's a tongue twister. NKTX announces positive preliminary dose finding data for 2 leading engineered natural killer cell programs. So it came out with that press release multiple times, and they even came out, they got something scheduled today, April 25th at 8 a.m. and that started to get the stock up and rolling. The flow on this stock is at 29.4 million. Looking at the daily chart here, we were trending down recently, and it's breaking up and out of that downtrend. You can easily throw on trend lines connecting the downtrend here that it was in. It's gapping up this morning to $14. This is going to start getting everybody excited and pumped up. It's Monday morning. Traders are just coming off of a long weekend. Traders, in a way, are like degenerate gamblers, especially when you're new. A lot of people come into this and they get off on the thrill of trading. Their adrenaline starts rushing when they enter in on these trades. But over time, and when you start to build up that experience under your belt, you're going to see a lot of the same stuff time and time again, because human nature never changes. NKTX gapping up this morning. We had a lot of volume pumping into this pre-market. Let's zoom in here, pre-market. All this volume was pumping in. Every 1 minute, 100,000 was pumping into the stock in volume every 1 minute. And it had a good run up here from 1030s all the way up to a high of 1560. I think it was up 90% pre-market before the market opened. And even I was saying, man, this is up a lot. It's up a bit too much right before this market opened. This market opens up at 9:30. All this volume just starts exploding into NKTX. Looking at the volume here, every 1 minute on average, the first 5 minutes of the trading day, you were getting 1 million in volume every 1 minute. Just exploding into this. I want to look at the characteristic stock here. Normally, a stock like this, day one, I stay far away from. I don't even want to touch it. You want to know why? It's overcrowded. There's too many heads in on it. There's too many opinions. There's too many trading strategies. All it's going to be is a tug of war between the bulls and the bears. You have just too much going on. I found it very, very hard in the beginning of my career. I would always get tunnel vision on a stock like this, and then I would wipe away weeks or months of hard-earned work. And then I'd watch something in the corner of my eye effortlessly run up and push up while I got tunnel vision on the hot chick of the day. Looking at the characteristics on NKTX here, look at the volatility when this market opened up for this specific stock. This candle right here from 15.15 all the way down to 14.15, That's a $1 range right there in one candle, right when the market opens. Right here, 1488 runs up to a high of 1598. That's about a $1.20 volatility and range right there. Explosion candle here from 425 up to 1550. That's a $1.50 range on a 1 minute candle. And notice all of these long wicks, long bottom wicks. It's a different story when you're going back and looking at all of this, but in real time, it's a different story. A stock like this, you got to be very careful with your size, because if you go in too big, a big $1.50 drop is going to hurt. You're going to see a lot of back and forth action. It's going to be a tug of war back and forth. So you really got to focus at the big picture at hand. And it could be a bit hard when with a stock with volatility like this, moving effortlessly up and down $1.50 at a time. You're going to have a hard time watching your P&L go up $1,000, then be down $500. Up $750, down $1,000. That's gonna mess with your head. So what I do, I stay away from these stocks day one. There's plenty of opportunity out in the stock market. Total volume on the day for NKTX. Let's take a look real quick. NKTX so far today, it's at 55 million in volume total on the day, and the market has only been open for what? An hour and a half, 2 hours. It's a lot of volume for a stock like this. And ultimately, look what happened with NKTX. This morning, over the course of the trading day, it sets up a wedge right here at 14, connecting it all together. It breaks out from that wedge, runs up to 16, then pulls back down right to that where it broke out from the wedge at that 14. Pushes up off of it back up to its highs, and then explodes up to 17 and into a halt. But as soon as it reopens from that halt, it gets driven down, and then now look at where it's at. This can be a hard stock to trade. It really can be. Now let's take a look at some other stocks that effortlessly moved up. You could have easily have gotten tunnel vision on a stock like this, and I want to show you guys all of the other stocks that outperformed this stock. We have VERU. Today, VERU has ran from $11.25 all the way up to a high of $14. Look at the nice base at $11.25. It formed out right there. No volume really the whole day too. Look at that. And most of the volume came in when this started to really ramp up right here. It's like everybody jumped on board and rode the train to the upside. So from 11.20s up to 14, that's just about a $3 move to the upside. And VERU, let's look at the volume on the day. VERU is only at 15 million in volume on the day compared to what that VRXT stock is at, 55 million. VERU is only at 15 million. Let's take a look at another stock that ran up today. SKYH. Today, SKYH has ran from $7.25 all the way up to a high of $11. That's just about a $4 move to the upside. And once again, notice how this morning there was really no volume interested in it. And then as this stock started to perform, push up, get big rips, pull back, big rip, pull back, big rip, pull back. Every time this stock would push, more and more volume would flow into it. Now that it's up at these extreme levels up here, look at all this volume show up into it. So the big thing that I want to get across here is don't get tunnel vision and don't get caught up in the hot stock or the hot chick of the day. You see how much volume was exploding into this. You got to tell yourself it's overcrowded. Remember the saying, more people, more problems. And look at what it's done today and how wild it's moving just back and forth. This is a type of stock you're just going to be battling your emotions in yourself. And then you're going to see in the corner of your eye these other stocks like VERU and SKYH just push up effortlessly with less volume too. These are a lot less stressful trades. And one thing that I noticed early in my career, like I said to you guys, stock like NKTX, I would always get caught up in the hype, and I would always focus strictly on a stock like this, and I'd get tunnel vision, and I would wreck my account. I would overtrade it. I would get caught up in my emotions. I'd screw it up, and I would destroy weeks or even months of hard-earned work. And then at the corner of my eye, every time I would see something like SKYH, a stock like SKYH just push up effortlessly. A stock like VERU push up effortlessly. And I would tell myself, why am I getting tunnel vision and beating myself up over a stock like this and then missing out on these easy runners like SKYH and VERU? It's just something to think about. Take in mind, you guys. Learn from my mistakes and experiences in the past. I tell you guys all the time, you want to think outside of the box. You want to be that 10% that thinks differently than everybody else. And you want to be ahead of everybody else. You want to be the 10%. The 10% that identifies a good setup and reaps the rewards, and you're selling to all of the dumb money when they're chasing after it after the stock made its move. So zoom out on your charts, identify good potential setups, study these charts, break them down. Where do you identify potential opportunity? Practice, repetition, repeat.